Hello, everyone. So I've been asked about how I make the posters I do for ISS, and I always tell everyone, "Oh, I use a Canva. Canva's really cool." But I never really explained very well, I feel like, what Canva is. So this is sort of a demo of the sort of things that you can do with Canva. So Canva is a website. It's free to sign up. I signed up, I don't know, last year, and I've just been fiddling with it and getting better with it as time goes on. So um, the website is free, but there are definitely paid pieces to it if you feel like you'd like to upgrade, right, or pay for different parts. I don't do that. I use only free components of it. So when you log in, the first page you're going to look at is what I call like your docking page, right? And it'll have all of the work that you have done. So because I've been using it for a while, I've got a lot of different things that I've made, and you can sort of see all of them. That way, if you're working on something and you want to come back and save it, you can look at it just like Google Drive. So at the top here is what's called Create a Design, and it gives you a few different uh, dimensions of different kinds of ways that you can make a media um, for your cool advertisements. But if you don't see one up here that you like, that's perfectly fine. I suggest clicking More. And when you click More, you get all sorts of different kinds of documents and files that you can create. So usually I stay a little further up to the top here because I'm doing a lot of stuff on social media, or maybe I'm printing a few things. Um, and an important thing to know before you choose which one you want, so maybe you're making a poster, um, the poster is in centimeters. But if you're using something for Facebook, it's in pixels because Facebook is on a screen. So you want to be aware of the dimensions, but you also want to be aware of the units that you're using because, 940 inches is way bigger than 940 pixels, right? So the US letter is used in inches. Um, Presentation, of course, is used in pixels. Social media is used in pixels. Some of these are pretty interchangeable, I think. Like, I can use the social media or the Instagram post on Facebook. Like, there's nothing really stopping me. They're pretty similar. But you want to be aware, especially if you're printing something or you're using a program that has specific dimensions, that you're using something that will fit that so that if you print it out, you're not getting like a weird size, like it's too small or it's way too big or all stretched out and weird, or if you try and upload it to a website that has specific dimensions, that you aren't like chopping off half of your design. So if you don't find the dimensions that you're looking for, that's okay. You can create your own custom dimensions up here by use custom dimensions, right? And it'll come up with, width times height, and make sure you choose the right units that you're looking for. I usually choose inches. So, for example, if I was making a business cards are usually like 5 by 3 inches, right? So I type in 5 by 3, right? 5 inches wide. And then I click design. Okay. Now, I'm not doing that. I'm going to click on, let's say, an Instagram post. And I have my designs come up in new tabs so that I can work on multiple ones at the same time. Um, so it comes up and it's a totally blank canvas, right? Like there's nothing on it. But if you look to your left, you will see a bunch of little different pieces to help you create your design. The first one, the one that it starts out in, is layouts. And they have Canva layouts that some of them, like you see here, are free. But then others, like this one, cost money. Stay away from the ones that cost money. I always use the ones that are free. Um, Depending on the style that you chose, like if you chose an Instagram post or a social media post, that's going to have something that is the outline is going to be a little more geared towards that medium. So it'll have a lot of like pictures. Usually, it's like big words and it's sort of eye-catching. But then there are other ones that are pretty clearly designed for like businesses to put flyers out, and their layouts are going to be different. So again, it's kind of important to choose the right um, dimensions for whatever you're doing. So if I click on, like, for example, this super cute layout that costs money, that says Catcher Day, um, this is not free. So Canva does this thing where it puts like, a watermark over it. Now, if you're okay with it, I guess having that watermark, I'm pretty sure you can print it out like that. But if you want it to be a clear picture, then you have to pay for it. So let's see, what's a one that's free? Free is so important. Gosh, maybe not. Um, okay, so like this one is free, right? And there's nothing. It's just clear. So it really just, you want to be careful about that. And then if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of these layouts, it'll start um, just being blank layouts. So I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so see here, these ones are filled in, and then these ones are just totally blank. So if I click this, it looks like just a picture, and that way you can load up your own picture, whatever it is that you want. Um, if you want two different size pictures or however you want to lay it out, it has multiple different layouts for that. Um, I usually, if I'm going to use a layout, I usually use like sort of one picture, but it's up to you. It's how you want to do it. Now, you're probably wondering, where are the pictures, right? You will find all of your pictures in uploads, and you do have to upload them. Now, you can do it like manually, like the way you would with, any um, computer where you just like click this and then you go through all your files to upload it. Or you can do it just like Google Drive and just drag the file and it will upload it. So here we have, right, just this blank place where we can put a picture. So let's put Grace's face, right? And it will fit the picture. It'll fit the picture to the page. Now, it kind of chopped off her head, right? So if you double click it, I can crop it or move the picture so that the parts of the picture that I want are showing. So obviously I want her face to be showing. So then I would click the OK button. And now we can see all of her face. Hooray! Um, if you are doing something like this, you want to be aware that the way in which you orient like your design is going to change the crop. So like, because this is an up and down picture, it goes up and down. But if I decide to use Ferris's face, which was a picture that goes horizontally, and I try to crop it, I have to go side to side, right? So it's sort of a limiting crop, but it still works pretty all right. So I'm just gonna make it blank again. So you can do it that way. You can also just upload or just put the picture on and like then you can size it however you want instead of it just being stuck and fit to page. Or you can go to what's called elements here. And in elements, they have all sorts of different pieces to help your design look as good as you want it to look. So frames is one of my favorite. And you probably can hear my cat in the background scratching. Sorry about that. Frames is my favorite because just like layouts, it has all of these blank picture parts. And let's say like we choose, gosh, let's choose a fun one, like this one that's all choppy and weird, right? I can make this frame as big or as small as I want it to be, and then go back to your uploads and drag your picture, and it puts your picture into the frame, and then you can make it as big as you want, and it sort of crops it into a cool design piece. All right, let's go back to frames, because another important thing to note about frames As you can see, all of these things say free, really great, so you can use all of them. But if you go down further, woo, they've got so many different ones. They have borders as well. And they're not really like, they're just borders. So like if you could, you know, put a frame around your words or your picture or both of them, you can make it as big or as small as you want. And that's a really nice way of like drawing everything in together. Again, they say free, but then look here, they've got pictures that are considered frames and they cost like $1 to use. So if you were, I guess, going to the eye doctor, this is a picture you could use, but you'd have to pay $1 to use it. Back to elements again. And usually to close one of the little frames, I just click frame again. I also like to use um, lines and shapes, but you could also use things like grids if you wanted to do, they're pretty much the same as layouts, I feel like, right? Like grid is basically a layout if you want to do multiple pictures. Or if you really like sort of like that clippy art sort of look, you can do illustrations. Or if you are looking for some charts, they have charts, right? Where you can like, oh, it's only 15% of, college students do something. So some neat things you can do. And then they also have things called backgrounds. So if you don't like your plain white, you can choose a different color, a solid color, or you could choose a background that's patterned, as long as it's free, right? These ones down here cost money. And you can change the color of it as well. If you click on an element, this bar comes down, and over here it says, this is the color it is. And I can change the color, right? So you can also put a filter on things. Well, I don't know why you would want to do that, but if you had a picture, right? I use filters for pictures um, to give it a nice look. Or if you needed to flip it, this wouldn't make any sense to flip it usually, but you could flip it horizontally or vertically. Doesn't really do much. But for like your pictures and things, it could totally change it. You can also make things transparent. Over here is the transparent. Ooh, yay. So there's lots of different ways in which you can make it your own. They also, of course, have text. Um, they have three different sizes that you can start out in. But when, like, this is the heading, if you look, obviously you can change the font size. You can change it to a font that you prefer. You can change the font color. Some fonts you can bold or you can italicize, right? You can change if it's, heading. It's just like Word document, basically. Make it bigger, small, bulleted. You can change the spacing, the line heighting and the spacing. And of course you can copy it, right? Okay. They also have this really cool part that's like layout for text. So if like you were deciding you wanted to say like, ONU, multicultural, I can't spell, whatever, multicultural, whatever. You can change it to say whatever you want it to say, and it already has like a built-in layout so that you don't have to sort of fiddle with, oh, is this spacing right? Is this looking the way I want it to look? They're a really great way of doing it and also free. So that's a little bit about Canva. Um, if you have any more questions, we can talk about it, but I really like it and I hope that you also try and use it. It really changed my life. So thanks, everyone.